the blessing promised to those who overcome. Verse 7. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To him who overcomes, I will grant to eat of the tree of life, which is in the paradise of God. Where was the tree of life first mentioned? Garden of Eden. Okay. Turn to chapter 2, verse 17. Again, this is the blessing to him who overcomes. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To him who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna. Where was manna mentioned? Moses, during the wanderings of the wilderness. He's saying, I'm not getting it, Chip. Hang on. Let's get through chapters 2 and 3. Chapter 2, verses 26 and 27. He who conquers and who keeps my works until the end, I will give him power over the nations. He shall rule them with a rod of iron, as when earthen pots are broken in pieces, even as I myself have received power from my Father. What does that sound like?
I think it sounds like Isaiah. He said of one of his prophecies of Jesus was that he would rule with a rod of iron.
Okay, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. No. David, that's it. The Davidic covenant. David, it was promised to him in Psalm 2. If you read Psalm 2, verses 7 through 9, you'll find this reference. By the way, this reference of ruling with a rod of iron appears in multiple times throughout the book of Revelation. Okay? David, all right? Now let's turn to Revelation chapter 3. Let's look at verse 5. And I just realized I forgot to put the cross-reference to this. Oh, well, we'll live with it. He who conquers shall be clothed like them in white garments, and I will not blot his name out of the book of life. The book of life. Blotting your name out of the book of life. I've heard that before. When? Well, that was the tree of life. Think a little bit further.
Daniel.
Think of a golden calf.
Exodus.
What happened after the golden calf? What did Moses do after the golden calf bit? He broke it. And then what did he do with God? What's that? He pleaded for the people. And what did Moses say to God? Do you remember?
Remember your promise.
Remember your promise? And if you will not, he said to God, blot my name out of the book of life. And God said, I won't do that. Therefore, I'm going to forgive this people and I'll walk with them and all of this and that. But I'm going to do all of this and that and so forth. This reference to the book of life was first mentioned by Moses. It's also referenced again veiledly in Malachi. It talks about the books that are written that God keeps a record of. Let's look at Revelation 3:12. He who conquers, I shall make him a pillar in the temple of my God. Chapter 3, verse 12. A pillar in the temple.
Was that the three pillars that you mentioned, Peter, John,
No, that's different. But yes, this is talking about
Samson. Is this Samson?
No. He's talking about this is the pillars in the temple that are the two pillars in particular that are in front of the Holy of Holies. I mean, the holy place. Sorry, not Holy of Holies. In Solomon's temple, he put two pillars in front. One he called Boaz, one he called Joachim. And they mean strength and, oh, it just escaped me. strength and something, I forget. But that's what the pillars mean. But they were in the temple outside. They were huge bronze pillars that were outside of the holy place. But what is he referencing?
Pillar of smoke of God.
No, just the building, the temple itself. So, they're not, maybe you're overthinking this a little bit.
Wait. Are we thinking about the cherubim on the ark?
No. I'm just saying that a pillar in the temple, he's talking about the temple itself. It's just that.
Okay.
It's just that. But it's referencing the time in which not David, who was ruling with a rod of iron, but with the building of the temple under Solomon and the first temple period. Okay? The point is, all of these references that he's making in the church, to the churches, all of these rewards are all referencing or recapitulating elements of the covenants that God made throughout history. The tree of life with Adam, the hidden manna with Moses, the rod of iron, David, the book of life, another reference to Moses and the prophets, the pillar in the temple, the time of Solomon, again a reference to David and his reign. You see that? He's referring to salvation history, points of it. All of those are covenant points. Covenant. See, without understanding what covenant is, you miss the marriage metaphor. Am I making sense? You understand?